All right, dorks. Today we have a tier list. Not really a tier list. We're going to be going through all the characters currently in Street Fighter V and saying whether or not they would be buffed by VSHIFT or nerfed by VSHIFT, which is the upcoming new mechanic in Street Fighter V launching February 22nd. And I have Just a Kid. Say hi, Just a Kid.
Hi.
So first we have Abigail.
Mm.
So what could be
Abigail.
punishable by Abigail currently by VSHIFT, you think? I think one thing is his tire. Like, once he is able to set up his tire, then like you just can't deal with it. But if you have VSHIFT, you can just VSHIFT it and then get away. So that might be a thing.
I mean, yeah, but he may, I don't know, cause there's like a lot of situations where you know how, let's say he does like stand fears and people typically take their turn back or something like that. He can V-shift and then back up or knock you down, and then you're in the corner more or something like that. A lot of this stuff, and this is like a lot of theorizing for the next few days until the update comes out, but we don't know like the animation of it or if his is gonna be slow, fast. Just because some of the ones like Ryu or something was typically kind of fast-ish, but since he's a bigger character, we don't know if his will be like crazy slow or something like that. But I'll probably bank on it being slow.
I mean, I think even just the initial invincibility part would be good, even if the punch part isn't fast for a big character.
It may help him in like certain matchups that are bad, like you can zone him out or something like that.
Oh, that is true, because V-shift is pretty good for getting around fireballs, because you can V-shift a fireball and then spend half your V-bar to get in.
Yeah, so it may help him with like Guile or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so
I think he also has pretty bad defense right now, so it would also help his
help
defense.
him out. Yeah, so I think he may probably get buffed a bit by the V-shift.
Yeah, alright, I'm putting him in buff.
Yeah. Only because of like fireball characters and everything like that, it just helps. Like a lot of these characters who have like 3 frames or wake up options, it'll help them out.
Yeah, I think I agree. Alright, what about Alex?
I think buff for sure.
Buff because of his defense, I guess. And
yeah, overall his defense sucks, and just him having a defensive mechanic alone will just help him out overall. Like
Yeah,
his defense is not great unless it's like V trigger 1, and then people only stop pressing buttons because it's like we're trying to bait you.
Yeah, I also can't really think of situations where you could easily get like there's something he could abuse that V-shift gets around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't
like it'll help him like get potential maybe Oki or like a good punish. But like Alex just sucks overall.
Yeah, that is true.
So it just helps him out in general.
Yeah. We'll say it buffs him, but you know Alex is gonna need more buffs if he's gonna be viable.
Yeah.
It's not just V-shift. Yeah. All right, Blanca. So I think this is actually a nerfed by V-shift character. And the reason for this is that you can now V-shift Rainbow Ball and probably Blanca Ball as well, but I don't know if you would get a punish on Blanca Ball, but I think you could get a punish on Rainbow Ball.
See, the thing with because I'm like because there's so much theorizing like situations where V-shift could be useful or something like that. Because I'm thinking also, you know how Blanca players typically do Rainbow Ball, they like delay then they go forward to like bait you or something like that. I'm wondering, can you V-shift when he delays it, like he slightly goes in front of you, and you get a punish, or does it have to go through the full animation, and then you can get the punish?
Like, does it have to trigger the parry part of it?
Yeah. So like he delays it, he like goes in the air a bit, you V-shift, and it's just like that parry timing. Like, can you punish him? Like that's what I'm just thinking of. If you can, it's definitely a nerf to him because it may hurt his offense.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes Blanca less annoying overall, I think.
Yeah, but I also think it may be better for Blanca because he some good Blanca players typically don't even need V-trigger because they may do their good footsies or something like that or whiff punish you. and like I've played a lot of Wolfgang in the past, and he can be pretty annoying with it. And V-Russel's already good because he can stop you. So I'm not sure if he'll maybe nerf. It all depends on the player. For me personally, for Blanca,
Oh my god.
we could probably put him in nerf for now, but we'll have to see because
All right.
it is very interesting.
Wait, my OBS just messed up.
Yeah, I would imagine V-Shift does great damage. It's definitely not gonna do. If it does real damage, that's gonna be kind of stupid.
Yeah, I think it would do great damage. It'd be really weird if it did regular damage.
Yeah, imagine getting killed by V-Shift.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. All right. You think buffed or nerfed though? I'm leaning towards nerfed.
Yeah, I'll probably lean towards nerfed so further notice, because we don't know anything yet.
All right. Wait, I should add another column for neutral.
No, just add a row above or below, yeah.
Wait. All right. So Vega, what do we think about Vega? I think Vega is very footsies heavy, and right now his V reversal is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Vegas use more, V skill 2 or V reversal.
Yeah.
I feel like V skill 2 is the most, but it's like
the thing is, I feel like VSHIFT is a better Vega V skill 2.
yeah.
Or at least, yeah, I think it's just a better Vega V skill 2. So this is probably gonna make Vega players want to use V skill 1 more.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see, will Vega spam this the most alongside V skill 2 or something, and then the moment people build like OSs or something like that, they'll just be annoyed and be like, we don't have good defensive options, and they just continue to blame the character or something like that. But it's just like Vega players kind of can be somewhat predictable on defense, especially with the virus on V skill.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like maybe adding this may help them mix it up. I don't know, because I think we saw in the video like his V shift, right? Did we see it?
Yeah, we saw him. He did it like a cool like slash forward. I remember it. It was a really cool animation.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it just makes them worse because I think Vega players are just gonna rely on it super hard and it's gonna hurt them. Because if their V trigger doesn't get buffed or none, they're gonna abuse it.
All right, but if it's a good Vega player and they don't just randomly do it, what do you think?
I think it may help them, especially if it's frame 1, according to some like good lab testers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I saw I think Jibbo say it looked frame 1.
Yeah, if it's frame 1, it's definitely gonna be something interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, VShift is going to help the like neutral heavy characters because it'll just make the game more geared towards neutral.
Yeah.
Vega is also a character with 2-bar V triggers. They're both 2 bars, I believe. So you're going to be able to use V-Shift a couple times and still get V-Trigger. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in buffed.
Okay.
Let's move on to Birdie. What do you think about Birdie?
Well, I'm not sure if it's okay. I saw like the change they did to his crouch fierce, and I'm not sure if that's a buff or a nerf. I said nerf.
Oh yeah, that's a really weird change. But let's just talk about V-Shift though.
That's boring. So, I think it. Damn, this is hard because depending on what they do with Birdie's neutral, because they've kind of hurt his neutral this past season. So
yeah, everything's more whiff punishable now.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if they keep him the same or they'll make him worse or better. But.
But I mean, we don't have the patch notes right now, so just going off of like where he is the current season, what do you think?
I think it'll nerf him.
You think it'll nerf
make him probably more? Yeah, I think it may make him more whiff punch or something like that. If you see like a fierce, you can like V shifted or something like that.
Yeah, that is true. Like if you read someone's heavy attack, I think like that's like an automatic V shift punish on
Yeah,
people's
and you
heavy
gotta think
attacks.
about like in certain situations. Let's say you playing a birdie, right? Like you used to, because I know Colleen has good like counter poking moves, especially against birdie.
Yeah.
If you if you know you have a life lead and then you V shift, thinking a birdie player's gonna do a stand fierce or a stand Ian punch, and you whiff punish them, it kind of hurts them because then it's like, because there's more recovery frames on the stand fierce, you can hurt them more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, I think that's not going to be that common of a scenario where you V shift a heavy button because you kind of have to
Yeah, I'm
read
just
it
thinking like
still.
theoretically or something like that.
Yeah, but it's going to be something that comes up a couple times. But I think the more important situation here is like right now when Birdie gets you to the corner, you're like pretty much screwed. You have no defensive
Yeah.
options no matter what character you are basically. And now you're going to be able to V shift away. And I think that hurts Birdie a lot. That's like a big part of his offense. Like Birdie is like the one character, maybe Abigail too, that if you get back thrown, you're just like, oh, that's not good. So I also agree that he gets nerfed by V shift. All right.
So I'm pretty sure like this is a little fun. I think I remember, but from the video, I think they showed no light attacks from a V shift. So, so like basically like I'm banking on you can like OS with a light button on a V shift just in case someone tries a V shift because they recover kind of quickly. Because they only showed like stand me and punch or low forward or something or a heavy button that you're able to V shift. They didn't show any light buttons.
I think that's because light buttons aren't going to be punishable by them. But
I'm just thinking like OS is like you see a V shift, I'm gonna just stand light kick you after it, and just be like I'm out of there, or I can just V shift back.
wait, you're saying the opponent like, all right, so the opponent's knocked down and they V shift, and you're saying you do a light punch on their wake up?
No. Okay, so let's say you throw someone with Kolin or something like that, right? Or no, it's not good. Let's say you knock down with exhale, and you get Oki, right?
Okay.
And you do a meaty like, what do you do? Stand jab or crouch jab or something like that?
Yeah, normally stand jab.
Yeah, so they never showed something like that where it's a meaty jab.
That's exactly
And
what I
some-
was saying.
What was it?
Yeah, like if you do a meaty jab on the opponent's wake up.
Oh, okay. Your bad, Mike. Just I blame it on that.
What? My mic is normal. Chat, my mic is normal, right?
Your mic is normal for Twitch. It's not normal for Discord. Okay, I have an OS.
Maybe my Discord is just messed up. I downloaded a bad version of the software. You never know.
Why are you downloading bad versions?
Fake Discord? I don't know.
All right. But yeah. All right. Balrog.
Balrog?
I think he'll be buffed.
What is your reasoning?
Well, I'm just thinking of him versus grapplers a lot because that's like after VSCO 2 of the past season, some of the matchups got easier, like Geef or something like that. But I'm just thinking about like Lord or the hybrid grapplers. It may help him because then he has a defensive option to get out of those situations. Because he had to hold a lot of that those situations because he only had a 3-frame. Like that was it. And especially with VSCO 2 now, I'm thinking like he could V shift, strike back, charge up VSCO 2, and try and like restart the neutral.
Oh, that is true. Like
Yeah.
Balrog definitely got buffed in terms of neutral because if he stays in neutral longer, he gets to charge up his V skill too. So if you just V shift back and charge it up, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
and especially has good knockdown and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we're not sure if you can punish him, and if you can't punish him, it's just a free VSCO 2 charge, and you gotta worry about that now. Especially someone like Geef or something like that.
I heard something interesting from someone that I think some Balrog player that if someone throws like an air fireball, like you saw how Rose was doing like an air fireball from full screen. If Balrog V-shifts it, he can do a dash punch from full screen and punish after his V-shift. Not every character is gonna have something like that, so I think that's like a really good thing for Balrog to have.
Yeah.
that you can get a full screen V-shift with punish, or not with punish, but punish. So I think we agree he's probably gonna get buffed.
Yeah, I think overall it's gonna help him out.
All right, we have our guy Cody. Cody is interesting. I'm not. So my thoughts are he has a fireball, so this nerfs him. His neutral is pretty solid, so like he can fight his way in neutral, which is where the game is going to be leaning more towards. So I'm not really sure. But wait, one thing, EX Zonk, you can punish with V-shift probably, and that unless they changed EX Zonk somehow. Like it's just gonna be punishable. I don't know how they're gonna change it, but it used to be a free way in, and now it's just gonna be punishable. If you have
can V-shift works on block?
Like I don't think you can activate it on block. No. Oh, actually.
So then, actually, did they? I'm gonna check. I'm just checking because I have it up.
Like it looked like they were doing it on block, but they might have just been activating it like the moment before to show the parry.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. Especially like the Nash thing where he did block Guile's like Stamium punch and then he did it right afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing you can't do it on block because then why would you do V reversal then when V reversal is when you do it on block. So going by
it may be a read for EX Zonk then.
That is true. That is true. It's still a good read. It's like a good option to have in your back pocket when, because in certain situations, like Cody's gonna do the EX Zonk. He's gonna like do meaty light kick EX Zonk, and you're just kind of screwed. But it's not a block string, but you have to take it because you have no way to get through it. But now, if you know for sure it's gonna happen, then you can do the V-shift and punish.
Okay.
So it's still something to think about as Cody as like kind of a nerf. It'll change his pressure.
Cause I'm thinking like heavy kick or something like that if it is, which is relatively kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you see it and you just V-shift react to it.
Yeah.
Punish him. But yeah, some of this stuff just revolves on like what they do with the character. But I think it may nerf him. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put him neutral or nerfed.
Yeah, I think we put him in neutral because we're just not sure yet, but we're more sure of Birdie and Blanca. We can probably think about him more if we put someone else in neutral, and we can move him then.
Okay.
Cammy.
Cammy. I'm gonna just say neutral.
Neutral. What is your reasoning?
Yeah, so I'm thinking of obviously, her strong. She's just overall just very strong. She's very simplistic. Hit confirms, dive kick.
Yeah.
Good strong V trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can both punish her and she can punish you right back. Because if you like read a dive kick, you V shift it. You punish her.
Oh.
And it obviously helps. Yeah, so like...
Wait, I think that's a big nerf to her. That her dive kick can get V-shifted pretty easily. Because that's like a big reason why I think Ryu is a bad matchup for Cammy. Because you can parry her dive kicks. And V-shift is kind of just a parry.
Yeah. And then like... I'm also thinking of her V-shifting you because she's already good at hit confirming.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just walking forward, seeing your button, reacting... Because game players are obviously like reactions and all that. They see something, they're like, nope, hit confirm, stand fear, super or something like that, and then you get smoked. So I think it will both help her and like hurt her a bit.
I agree. Like her neutral is really good, so it helps her, but there's certain things that can be punished by her. So we'll leave her in neutral. All right, Chun-Li. I think.
You go ahead on this one.
Yeah, so I think initially it's very good for her because she can just control neutral, and she does have a fireball, which will make it easier to get in on her if she throws fireballs. But she doesn't have to throw fireballs that often. Her neutral is so good that she doesn't need fireballs to win it. And I think something like reading stand heavy punch with V shift is very risky because if they're patient with their heavy punches, it doesn't really matter. So I think she does get buffed by V shift because she's so neutral heavy.
I'm trying like best to like word it and everything to make sure like I get it right. Cause like there's none. She doesn't have like any crazy recovery frames on her normal, so you can't necessarily V shift her like stand fierce and you're like I'm a whiff punish or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's no point in V shifting like a leg because all the legs are punishable. I'm just having certain situations where like they're very common and you can potentially V shift it, but there's no need to. So like stand what's a typical thing when they mess up V trigger 2 is like legs V trigger 2 or something like that. It's like there's no need for V shifting unless you don't have like a EX projectile move. It's like a decent fast. So maybe in those situations, but I don't think it'll hurt Chun-Li all that much. But I don't think it'll like help her.
I think it will help her. I think being able to get back to neutral is a big thing for her. Because if she can get away, like she's a very strong like keep away character. Like if she gets a little bit of distance and she can just harass you with stand fierce, I think that's really good for her. And the V shift, even if nothing happens, like it just gives her that distance to get away.
Oh yeah,
safely.
just V shift back, just like we're playing neutral now.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about your V trigger and then good work like that. We could probably put her buff for now.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Dhalsim. You want to go first?
I think buff.
I also agree buff because his defense.
His defense is gonna help so much.
Yeah, his defense is trash, and then V skill V shift. I mean, he's another character where if he gets a little bit of distance, that's just really good for him.
Yeah, like you got because he has actually like different ways to get out of certain situations. He has teleport, Tiger Knee, Air Gale. He has technically has backdash, but it's kind of bad. But this just helps him out, especially against like Geef or something. And we also know that V shift is invincible to throw, so Geef can't have that 50-50 all this time now. So it definitely helps him. So
yeah, that makes sense to me. All right, moving on to Ed. What do we think about Ed?
He's adopted.
I mean, I
think. Yeah, I mean, I don't like him. Man, I do not want this character to ever get. I don't even want this character to be having a V shift. I don't want him to say like season 2. I think he'll probably be buffed by it. So much as I hate to say it.
Why? Why do you think he'll be buffed?
Because one, if you play with Ed, his stand light kick has somewhat short range. And even then, like he's only limited to like maybe one combo with it. You literally gotta do I think it's stand light kick, stand jab, and piano the punches. And that's the only thing safe from, or like that's the only thing safe from that you can do on defense. Other than that, his cycle upper is very bad because you can do a light button and you can still block in time. So it's not necessarily a traditional DP. And if he has this, it could potentially help him so that way he can stop all this stuff and can get it back neutral. Because against certain characters, Ed's neutral potentially can be like not that bad.
That is true.
Especially if you're playing it right.
That is true. Yeah, it does help him get like his defense is not good because his DP is so slow. So that's true that it does buff his defense, but there's two moves that Ed players really like. Charge heavy punch and also V skill charge, which I think V shift should punish. Which
they probably have to stand fierce the most, if anything.
Yeah, like charge stand fierce to get out of the corner. That's like a very big part of Ed's strategy, and like you can know it's coming, but sometimes you still get hit by it. But if you V shift, then like you can punish it for sure if you're on the ground. So I think that is a nerf for him in that aspect. But yeah, let me respond to someone in the chat. Sorry, nephew, but how can a character get nerfed by a new mechanic? Yeah, I agree with Hippo Lord. Some characters can take advantage of the new mechanic better than others. In this case, VSHIFT, it makes the game go towards neutral much more. Because if every character has V-shift, you stay in neutral longer, and some characters are just better at neutral than others. It nerfs offense. It's a defensive mechanic. So characters with good offense lose out in this situation. And characters with bad defense gain from this as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's gonna help everyone defensively overall, but it's just a matter of certain moves that are like have a bad recovery, or it may leave you open or something. It'll hurt those people. So some characters like I don't know, maybe let's say they nerf Kolin Stand Fierce to have way more recovery frames next season. It could hurt her because then if I read a Stand Fierce and you do a bad one, I'm gonna punish you.
Exactly, and that's why I think for Ed, it's a very big, or it's definitely a nerf. It might not be a big nerf. They might just do charge heavy punch less. And yeah, I agree. We'll get to poison, but it'll probably be a big buff to poison since she's a keep out character and it's also a defensive mechanic, and those two add up really well. So
I'd say neutral maybe for Ed.
Yeah, I think neutral too, because it buffs his defense, which is really bad right now, and also there are situations where his moves actually do get punished by V-shift.
Yeah.
All right, Fang. This one,
I think in general buff.
In general buff.
Yeah.
You think for like the keep out factor?
Keep out factor, him not having like very, very little defensive options, because he's been a 4-frame character who only has EX slide, but EX slide loses to throw. So if I just keep throwing you, you're in the corner and you have to throw tag, and it's like, all right, get another way out. Like, try to do something else. And then
that is true.
Yeah, so it's like this character's just been known for just having bad defense overall.
Yeah, his defense is not great.
Yeah, and it may make Fang a bit more like tricky to deal with, but it won't be like as like what is it? You'll be able to contain them. Just you gotta think about another option, but overall, it's gonna help him in general because he's gonna be able to just get out of situations, stop stuff, and especially if a Fang player is winning like the life lead, he can just go back to zoning. You gotta keep in mind like he has zoning capabilities as well.
Okay, yeah, but the X virus brings up a good point. Couldn't you just mash V-shift during Fang's pressure, which I agree with? A big part of Fang's comeback factor in V-Trigger is that he has these fireballs where they might not be complete block strings, but if you get hit by them, then you get hit and you're kind of screwed. I think V-Shift would nerf a lot of those mix-ups where you have to guess which side the fireball's going to hit on, but you can just V-Shift out of it. What do you think about that?
It definitely hurts offense, but I'm just thinking of like the defensive side of Fang, and it's not good, but this helps him. But I don't know. And plus, I don't think we know like the frame data yet for V-Shift. We don't know if it's frame 1, frame 3, or whatever. I imagine it's probably frame 1, so it may hurt him.
Like, I think if it's frame 1, I would put him in neutral. If it's not frame 1, I would put it in buffed. It's kind of like a thing where, like, if the projectile mix-ups aren't completely nerfed by this, like if a projectile is on top of you when you're on the ground, and you can V-shift out of it, then I think that's a big nerf to you. Like a common Kolin mix-up is if you throw hail and you can cross over or not. If you can V-shift out of that, I think that hurts her mix-ups a lot. But if it's not frame 1 invincible, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, so I'd probably put him in neutral for now until we know for sure what happens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like overall, it probably will be more beneficial than good for him, in my opinion.
You're pretty sure Dan woke up V-shift into CA in the video? Wait, did he really? Did they do a meaty?
I could check real quick because I'm on YouTube. I'm out. Just give me a minute. Or you can keep talking, but I'll find it.
Yeah, I'll just respond to people in chat while you're looking. You came curious about Cody. Well, we will get to Cody in... Oh, we already got to Cody. So our thoughts on Cody were that since he's like a neutral heavy character, like he can fight in neutral well, it's helpful to him in that aspect. But a big part of his offense is EX Zonk, which is probably going to get nerfed by this. Like you probably can't do V-Shift on block, but we think that like there's certain situations where Cody can do like light kick into EX Zonk, and it's not a block string, but you can't do anything about it. So having the V-Shift available for when you know that Cody's going to do EX Zonk, that's pretty helpful against Cody.
Yeah, so I think he kind of did wake up with V-Shift and it worked, but I'm not sure, like, because we don't know for sure if it was a delayed meaty or just a regular meaty. But he definitely did wake up V-Shift and it worked. So let's say it is invincible like that.
Invincible frame 1, you're saying?
Yeah, let's just say.
Yeah, so I think that... Yeah, so I think I agree with our Fang placement then, because his neutral, or his defense does get buffed by this, but his offense gets nerfed pretty heavily because of the mix-ups. I think he's a very heavy mix-up character. It's a big part of his game plan.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on to Falk. What do we think here?
I don't know, to be honest. I can't really say.
I think it's a nerf. I think it's a nerf. She's a zoning character, but she zones with her fireball a lot. And fireball, you can V-shift, and if a character has a full screen punish, like I guess like G or Cammy, or who else has a full screen punish? Who was I talking about before? A Balrog? Like that's a very big thing to be able to V-shift a air fireball and go full screen and get in.
Yeah, I'm probably, because especially does forward fierce. If she can't V-shift afterwards after it, like, and I can just V-shift her back, I'm like, okay. I'm not really afraid of your neutral anymore now. So it may work like that, I would imagine, because people are just gonna look, because that fierce is pretty noticeable when you see it. So it may hurt her.
Something that's also very common for Falk players, I mean, they can also just stop doing this, but they do stand fierce into crouching fireball a lot. And I mean, they just can't do that if the opponent has V-shift because they can V-shift the fireball. That's probably going to end up being minor. They just stop doing it and they can just do the stand fierce instead and try and confirm it into the kick thing. But I think the nerf to like being able to V-shift a fireball full screen and punish it is very big against her.
Yeah. So I would say probably nerf maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Gill, also a very fireball heavy character. But his defense is not so good, right?
Yeah, he only has the 2-frame parry and a bad 3-frame. So I'm not sure. Like, it's like, and we'll probably get into this like later on sometime before the buff or before the patch or whatever. But some of this stuff revolves on them, like how they nerf or buff characters.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's going to change. I mean, obviously buffs and nerfs are going to just buff or nerf the character, so we can't talk about it right now because we don't have that list. But
yeah,
all we can talk about is V-Shift right now. You missed the Alex part. You're sad. We can. I'll be posting this as a YouTube video later on, or you could just go back and check the VOD. Balrog can't 50-50 you anymore, so that might cause trouble. I mean, that's only with his like V trigger 2, I guess. That's really a situation you have to worry about.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Balrog has like his offense is very heavy button, heavy button, heavy button. So unless you're like willing to guess on a V shift, it's not gonna. I don't think his offense is affected that much.
Some of his like EX dash punch into like overhead or something, and you can just V shift when you block a dash punch or like afterwards or something like that.
I see what you're saying.
So there's There's some stuff.
That is true. That is true. But I think like most characters have something like that. It's not just Balrog.
Yeah, but we shall see later on in 10 days. But Gill, chicken tenders.
I think nerfed or neutral. Because it's a buff to his defense, but I think being able to get through fireballs is very bad as Gill. Because people just get in way easier. Also, his mix-ups, his V-Trigger 2 mix-ups, or V-Trigger 1 mix-ups, all of his mix-ups, you just V-shift out of them, right?
I mean, a lot of the mixers you see are on hit, though. That's the thing. Because you
What
gotta
do you
set
mean?
it up. So, like, you know, like low forward EX Fireball, you get the retribution, then you have to activate, like, let's say the grounded ice of V-Trigger 2. You gotta get hit in order for the mix-up to work. Literally, if I just block it out and not take the throw, I'm not in the mix-up anymore. So there's no point in V-shifting as long as you have good defense. And if...
What
let's
is a
say-
50-50?
No!
What
Okay.
are you talking about?
Nephew.
You
think
can't
about
be
this-
talking about good defense as a guess.
Nephew, shut up and listen, okay? Okay. Put this in your mind, okay?
Mhm.
You're Kolin. You have Gill cornered, right?
Uh-huh.
He has V-Trigger 2. You block a low 4 into EX Fireball. Are you
Yup.
just gonna V-shift that for no reason?
No, I'm not going to V-shift that. I'm saying if I get hit, then I'm going to V-shift the mix-up.
Oh, are you talking about like when the ice is down and just 50-50 you other
Yeah.
side or something like that?
What
Okay.
what 50-50 you think I'm talking about?
No, I thought you were just talking about like V-shifting like the beginning activation. I'm like, what's the point of that then?
That's not a 50-50. I mean, it kind of is, but not. That's not what I talk about when I'm talking about 50-50.
No, you just sound weird when you say stuff, okay?
Alright, I'm going to say nerfed because the fireball and his mix-ups get nerfed. I think it's a very heavy mix-up character.
Your face got nerfed. What? Alright, Akuma.
Akuma? I mean, I'm even without thinking about it, I just feel like every mechanic just helps Akuma. He's a very privileged character.
You're talking about he got nerfed.
We'll
Did you
see
not
if
get nerfed?
we'll see if he really got nerfed. Maybe the fact that it doesn't side switch anymore means that he gets to go all the way to the other side of the screen.
And they nerfed buffed him.
All right.
They just said and full screen corner carry. I think it may you know what? I think it may go neutral. I'm only thinking this like logically. So think about like, let's say Akuma like wants to approach you in the air from air fireball or something, and you just V-shift it and you punish him from doing that. Or like he can't do like low forward or not low forward. Same aim kick like red fireball, and you just V-shift and you can punish him like that. I'm thinking in certain situations like that where he commits to a fireball and you know you're gonna see, or you're trying to make a read and you just V-shift it or you react, and you can punish him. But it also will help him because then Akuma's don't have to rely on V-trigger none, and they can because Akuma already has really good footsie, so they can definitely whiff punish you or something like that. And he can hurt you. So it will both benefit him and probably hurt him a little bit, but I think it'll for sure benefit him a little bit more. Since it is Akuma.
Yeah, so I feel like there's so many of his tools that will slightly get nerfed because of this. Like, I think his V-Trigger 1 gets a little bit of a nerf because you can V-shift the fireball, the air fireball. You might even be able to punish it if you V-shift an air fireball and you have the right tool set. Other things, yeah, his air fireball, his demon flip, if you just V-shift out, you're out of that mix-up. But Akuma's neutral is like god tier. It's actually
Akuma
amazing.
is Akuma.
Yeah, his neutral is amazing. Actually, stand medium kick red fireball gets nerfed because you can V-shift the red fireball.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, just like one of those situations.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to do red fireball anymore. He can just hit confirm everything. Everything's hit confirmable. So, like, theoretically, like, I think if you don't think about his neutral, like, a lot of his tools get nerfed. But his neutral is so good. So I think I'm just going to put it in neutral for now. But I have a feeling it'll end up being Akuma still top tier. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll probably just say neutral for now. So for noise.
All right, G. G.
Well, you play this character more, so you have more of an understanding.
Yeah, I think it'll
neutral.
nerf him. I think it'll nerf him, and the reason for that is, one of so. I mean, the obvious reasons are that his V trigger one will get nerfed by this. You can V shift out of a lot of situations. But that's not my main concern, I think. I think the concern is, like, the counter argument is that his neutral is pretty good. He can play footsies, he just does buffers and stuff. But the reward for his buffers, if he hits you with like a stand light kick into upper punch, the reward is getting to level up. It's not the damage, it's the level up. But once you're in that level 2 state, as soon as you get V shifted into the punch, and that punch goes really far, then you get knocked down and you lose your level. So I think that's a very big nerf to him as a character. Like, his design is to not get knocked down, and this mechanic knocks him down a lot. What do you think?
I can kind of agree with that. Probably from more than benefit him, because it may benefit him if you're like in one of those like GG situations and you don't need V trigger to win or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just get knocked down to the corner, just be like, all right, cool, I have you here. What are you gonna do? But especially if he doesn't have V shift back or anything like that, it probably will hurt him, because then you knock him down. It's like, all right, cool, don't have to worry about a level, and I can safely do something or space him or something like that. So, yeah, I'll say probably nerf a bit. Yeah.
All right. Guile.
Buff.
You think buff?
Yeah, he's already a zoner, and Guile players don't really need V trigger to win with him. And the fact that he already has decent defense. Flash kick. He doesn't have 3-frame, but kind of doesn't need it considering it's him. And most Guile players you'll see or play that are high level already have good defense. So I would say buff, because then, especially someone like Daigo or Rock TV or something like that, they like start doing raids and start feeling comfortable. They're eventually gonna do V shifts and stop you, and then like do a crazy flash trigger super or something like that. And then, like, it pushes you back, especially with the V break. So it's like, all right, cool, corner, and I get neutral, and I can throw Sonic Boom safely, and you gotta still deal with this.
Yeah, we are recording Swagenheimer, but yeah,
no, we're not.
I agree that his neutral is pretty solid. But one thing, all right, let me list a couple things from my perspective on the Kolin Guile matchup, because I think it helps in that matchup specifically, as Kolin against Guile, because she has problems dealing with projectiles, so this allows her to get in when she otherwise could not really. So she just V-shifts the Sonic Boom and she pushes him to the corner. So that's definitely a strategy for her in the matchup. Another thing is that Kolin actually, like, Guile's V-trigger is really good against her. I assume it's good against most characters, where it's like an insane comeback factor when he's in the corner, because once you block sweep activate, then you're in a 50-50 between a back throw or like 300 or 400 damage. So that situation alone, being able to V-shift out of that, that's actually a game changer. Like, he has one of the best mix-ups, I think, out of a V-trigger, because his back throw is such a good position, and you have to take all that damage. I mean, G is also another character where the EX Rush Punch into activate is like it's just a really bad mix-up. But I think Guile is actually another really bad offender of this, where the mix-up is really bad. So I think in those situations, Guile does get nerfed. So I'm thinking maybe neutral, because he can fight still, but these little situations I think should add up against him. And the people that struggle with projectiles, I think will do better against him. But I think the people that already were fine with projectiles, I think like Guile might get buffed by that. So it's like a by matchup basis, I think. But I think like if we're talking overall, it's probably neutral, in my opinion.
Also, would you like, as a character who struggles with fireballs, would you? And this is just hypothetical. You don't say yes or no, but would you burn a V bar to V shift like a sonic boom to like potentially put him back in a corner or get out of a situation instead of V trigger 2 or no?
So it's only half a bar because you spend it and you're guaranteed to hit them, right? You're guaranteed to parry the projectile. So I definitely would spend it at the start of the round because I know I'm going to get V-Trigger. If Colin's V-Trigger stays 2 bars, like I'm definitely going to get V-Trigger again if I only spend one V-Shift. So I definitely would spend it at least once a round, I think, against projectile characters.
Would you spend it in a clutch situation, like when it's like, let's say he has like maybe a 20% a little bit more life lead than you?
It depends. Does he have V-Trigger or not?
No, he doesn't have V-Trigger, but he has a good life. Like, he has like 2 bars of V-Meter and you have V-Trigger, but you're kind of in a rough situation in the corner or something like that.
I think in that situation, I would just activate, and I have projectile options in V-Trigger.
Okay.
It's really, if I have to sacrifice V-Trigger, I'm not going to do V-Shift because V-Trigger is better than V-Shift in most situations. But if I know that I have the option of still getting V-Trigger, then I think spending the V-Shift to put myself in a good position, pushing him to the corner, allowing me to do damage that way, I think is very important. So I would spend it in the beginning of the round, but not in the clutch.
Okay, I can see that. So yeah, I'll probably play neutral for now.
Yeah, I think we all are thinking that V-Shift is going to do gray damage incentive. It doesn't really make sense for it to do regular damage.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Honda, I think nerf. What do you think?
Yeah, we already nerf. Yeah.
I mean,
stop like hands, butt slash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Easy. I think chat knows. I think my YouTube knows. All right, Ibuki.
50s.
Huh?
Shut up! Don't talk to me. What? All right, Ibuki. Let's see. I think. Cause I'm just thinking like what they've done with Ibuki. They kind of toned down her V trigger stuff a bit. And you have to hit confirm it and make sure you get it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have crazy like strong, like hella strong damaging combos if she does like crouch strong whiff punch or something like that. Unless you're in the corner and she releases all kunai EX right and all that. So I'm not sure if big players would use V shift like that.
Yeah.
They may like maybe whiff punishing or something, but her strong like whiff punishing thing is like V trigger. So it's like if you do a bad button or bad special, she can V trigger whiff punish you and it's like crazy amount of damage. So
yeah,
I would say it probably wouldn't hurt her, really. It wouldn't be crazy for her unless her thing is mad broken or something. I don't know.
So we said Falk got nerfed by V-Shift because I think she relies a lot on her like far away fireball game against a lot of characters, and against certain characters that have like a full screen punish are going to be able to V-Shift a fireball and then do their full screen punish, and that's really bad for her. obviously she's still gonna have like her keep out tools with stand fierce and stuff, but she's not gonna really be able to abuse her fireballs as much. Is our thinking. Wait, okay, so I was thinking Ibuki would get nerfed. I think she's still like, there's like a lot of situations where I get annoyed by Ibuki because she puts me in a mix up, and I can just V shift out of them now if I have the V meter. Just like EX kunai into left right in the corner, things like that. Let's see. What else? Oh, I was also saying that, or thinking that her EX kunai, her area EX kunai is like one of her big get in tools. So it would nerf that. You could probably punish that, at least with the V shift thing.
Yeah, but are you like actually gonna react to that? Like, are you really truly just gonna react to that?
I think you can react to EX kunai. I think you can't react to it with a jump because you'll get hit, which is what people normally try to do now. But I think it's easy to react on the ground with. If it's just a button press, I think it's fine. Maybe if it's a motion input, maybe not.
Maybe, yeah, especially if it's in like an autopilot Ibuki and she does it because it's obvious. Some maybe.
Yeah, like I mean, there's so many times where I play an Ibuki player and I know they're gonna EX kunai, and I just can't get out of it because I'm worried about getting hit. Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like nerf, but I'm not completely sure.
I think neutral.
All right, we'll put her in neutral then.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
You think V-Shift back movement would put them too far to punish most Falk fireballs, even with things like EX dash punch?
What?
When? Alright, I think you would have enough time to even like EX dash punch, V skill, and then like crouch fierce or something. Like I think Falk's recovery is not like it looks like V-Shift like the recovery is really fast. Or even like just EX low, that has a lot of range. Where is Seth? Oh my god. Did I pick a tier list without Seth?
And we'll probably put Seth in somewhere else, don't worry about it.
Alright, I could just change one of the titles to say also Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true that it's very match dependent for characters to be able to deal with, not be able to deal with that. Do you think we want to move Falk to neutral? Just a kid?
Still convinced it's probably gonna be nerfer. I mean, again, this is just all theorizing, so we don't know. You know, so if you're seeing it, just take it with a grain of salt. I would say. It's just based on like what we think personally. It's not crazy. It's not like it's definitive for sure, and we're calling it like because we're developers or me and Nephew went to like Capcom said we have a secret access or something like that.
I also think that Falk's V triggers are both heavily nerfed by V shift, because V trigger 2, the overhead, you can V shift out of that. And
oh
punish.
yeah, if you don't have something to stop it, yeah.
Yeah, and also her V trigger 1, you can also V shift out of that.
Yeah, you just see the air fireballs, you just V shift it.
Yeah, so the Sim one, I mean, our basic reasoning is that once Sim can develop a little bit of space, Sim is a great character. So his defense just gets improved a lot by V-Shift. He's he probably improves like one of the most by getting that little bit of space. So that's why we put buff by V-Shift for Sim. Alright. Jury, that's your character. What are your thoughts?
Alright, she will definitely get buffed because again, this is for she kind of somewhat struggle depending on like what resources she have against zoners. She struggles. So I'm thinking of Guile, Baby Poison, Sagat, Bison's characters like that. I'm able to V shift and I'm able to use something and not have to worry about if I don't have this resource, I lose. Because someone like Guile, I need V skill. I basically need V skill or a bar meter, otherwise Guile's gonna kind of smoke me. My V reversal is not good. So, and it's only like it only touches you a bit, and it's not gonna be nothing crazy. And it already reverts you back to neutral, so it already helps Guile in that aspect. And the fact that I can burn a little bit of V meter just to get him off of me and try and build storage or something just to like actually like challenge him and all that helps out. And also, wait, what is it? I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to make sure I think of all the points. Trying to think of all the characters, like especially like Balrog, Abigail. Like, I'm just thinking of bad matchups. It may not help against G because G is just overall his neutrals is better, just naturally better. It's like kind of a GG's. It may help against like someone like Birdie or something like that, you know, because just her reversal is just straight up trash. It's just trash.
It looks cool though. It's the coolest looking V reversal.
I mean, yeah, it's reminiscent of her Ultra too in 4. That was like one of the cool things about her. But like literally, they tried to buff it so I have 2 active frames instead of 1, and it's just like, what's the point of doing all that? You know, and it's just it'll help her out. It'll have her a little bit of a defensive option. She'll be able to play more. Also, and I already have 2-bar V triggers, so yeah, it's like
2-bar V triggers. What I was gonna say, you can spend a V shift and get in on those projectile characters that you struggle with. But you'll still get your V trigger.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that because it's not like V triggers like it's not like a Kolin V trigger, you know, where I change the game super hard. So it'll definitely buffer in that aspect, especially in zoners. Zoners just helps her in zoners. That's a big thing.
Yeah, I clicked this because it said Champion Edition, and I saw Gill, but I guess it didn't have Seth. That's unfortunate. All right, moving on to Ken. Unless you had anything else to say about Jury.
I do not.
All right, so Ken, what do we think about Ken?
I hate him. He has banana hair.
Those are bananas. But what do you think about VSHIFT for Ken?
VSHIFT for Ken.
I have no idea.
You know what? You know I'm about to call?
Who?
I think he may have one of the more scrubbier type of V-shifts, only because I'm thinking of a V-trigger 1 type Diamond Ken where they can just do heavy Tatsu -2 V-shift right away. And attempt to punish you for like trying to take your turn and stopping him or stopping like shenanigans.
So you're saying because he has situations in which he's minus?
Yeah, like he's typically like step kick or like maybe like a roundhouse and you're trying to like poke him a little bit or something like that. I'm just thinking like certain situations like that. Because Ken's maybe using it in those situations rather than just something else. He already, I mean, they may use it on Wake Up, but he already technically has like a quote unquote 3 frame with his Tatsu, and he already has EXEP and some Shoto, so there's just some things I just feel like it could work with Ken, but it may not.
I feel like that's not a big buff, if anything, to him. I think being able to get around his fireballs is a slight nerf to him as well. But I just don't feel very strongly either way.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like Ken may just be Ken still overall. I'm just thinking people may use it a little bit more scrubbier, if anything. That's just only thing I can think of when it comes to Ken. But other than that, I think it's just neutral.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in neutral. But I can see how he'll be more annoying, but maybe not better.
Yeah. If anything, yeah, more annoying. Yeah.
Kage. I mean, I feel actually, I think being able to V-shift his axe kicks is really good.
Especially the fake ones.
Yeah. I mean, you can just OS it. Like, if you see an axe kick, you just do it. If it's a block string, then you won't V-shift. If it's fake, then you will V-shift it. So I think he won't actually be able to do axe kicks, like, at all if someone has V-shift. So, I think that's a nerf. But
Kage has a 3 frame, right?
Yes, he does.
It's called strap, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure what it is.
It's either car strap or something else. But, trying to think. It may. So yeah, I'm thinking of the X6 stuff a lot. There's a typical. I'm not sure if you've gotten like you've blocked it, but he does like stand fierce EX red fireball teleport of each other one or something like that. Other side.
Yeah, true.
It may stop that. Because like some of Kage's stuff depends on him, like getting a certain knockdown or a certain situation with V trigger.
Do you think you can V-shift demon?
Like V-shift and then V-break it, or just V-shift and then punish it?
Do you think if someone does demon on your wake up and you do V-shift wake up, do you think you're able to get out of the demon with V-break? Yeah, that's a Jessica Dink.
I'm not sure.
Because I feel like demon would probably punish it. But I'm not sure.
I wish, like, there's so much stuff I wish they could show or wish we had on our hands, because then we would be able to solve this.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dang? Big fan.
Yeah, hopefully we start playing again. We need Dhalsim players.
Yeah, we need cheap press limbs full screen.
Yeah, otherwise we won't know we won't know the matchup for when all these top tier players.
All of a sudden, Nephew's kind of free to Arturo. All of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I would say Kage maybe nerf for now.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah.
Kolin.
All right, Kolin, Russian Queen.
So I think Kolin is a buff, and a lot of people might be saying that like her mix-ups are nerfed, because of you can V-shift out of the mix-ups, but the thing is, first she gets so many mix-ups that maybe you won't have V-bar left to get out of them. You might have to take them at that point. Like her mix-ups are once you're low on life, so normally you don't have a V-bar at that point. Anyways, you're gonna have to actually think about whether you want to save your V-bar to get out of her mix-ups. But the important thing is that Kolin's V-trigger is strong not because of the mix-ups, although they are nice. It's strong because her neutral improves a lot, because her stand fierce range improves. So I think her V-trigger actually gets buffed by V-shift overall instead of nerfed because of how strong she is in neutral. And I mean, there's other things that get nerfed. Like I think EX Hail is also a thing where you're gonna be able to V-shift and maybe even punish it. Some characters right now have trade combos and like other ways to get out of it, but for some characters it's a real problem. But having V-shift available, you'll at least get to get out of it a little bit probably. But I think in general her game plan is simply just dominating in neutral, which I think is what V-shift is all about. And also I mentioned it before when we talked about Guile, but V-shift going through projectiles, I mean, her biggest weakness is projectiles, and having an answer for that where she can at least get through one projectile and get you to the corner and then still have enough time to build up V-trigger, assuming her V-trigger is still 2 bars. Even if it's 3 bars, you can probably spend 1 and still get it because it's only half a bar. I think it's definitely buff for Kolin.
Okay.
All right. What about Karen? I mean, I think it's buffed, but I don't know if you have other thoughts.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer because first, Karen doesn't use V-trigger like at all. I mean, she does, but it's not necessary. And V-shift is just good for her. But
yeah, it's just it just controls neutral, and then she already has good neutral, so it's like, why not?
Yeah. So no-brainer, Karen. On the other hand, Laura, I think is very tough to say. So first, it buffs her defense. It nerfs her offense. And it slightly buffs her. I mean, this is part of defense, but she has a lot of situations where she puts herself in -2, and you just throw her. But now you have another. She has another option, like when she does forward fears or elbow. She can V shift.
Yeah, I think it probably would nerf her a bit more than buff her, only because we probably call her like a Street Fighter 5 character in a nutshell, because she's always been known about 50-50s and mix-ups and being a good hybrid grappler.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that it hurts her offense more than it probably improves her defense would probably impact her a little bit more. Cause yeah, I just think like all those crazy setups that 50-50s other side, which side you don't know what she's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hurt her more than just buff her. Also, items days are numbered. That's why.
All right. I completely agree with that. I think I'm more scared of her offense than I am of her defense getting better. So that's just if I'm less scared to play against Laura, then I think she got nerfed.
Yeah.
Lucia. Let's see. I am a Lucia main.
That's a cap.
What? How's that a cap? Alright, my Lucia video on YouTube is one of my most viewed gameplay videos. I think it might be my most viewed gameplay video on my YouTube.
I mean,
that's a fact.
I'm a Lucia player too.
That's not a cap. I can bring
That's a cap.
No, it's a fact.
Did you say a fact or a cap?
It's a fact. It's a fact. My Lucia,
on Discord, your mic is bad.
Well, actually, so last season when I played a couple characters at the start of the season and I put them on YouTube, people on YouTube started thinking I was an Ed main or a Lucia main. I don't understand. Just because I had one video on Lucia and one video on Ed, it really didn't make any sense. But that's what they thought. And it was also like my day one Ed and day one Lucia. Am I not? All right. But Lucia, I would say she gets nerfed. Maybe only slightly, but I think she does get nerfed because she's a very offensive character. She's really getting in there kind of thing, and staying there. So I think she gets nerfed or neutral. Because I think it's like a small nerf, because like her offense isn't that crazy, but I think it does get nerfed by it.
Yeah, because like imagine her just doing like a Stanfier's fireball startup. You just stop her. Just be like, you don't get nothing.
Yeah. Want to put her in nerf then?
Yeah, we can put her in nerf for now.
All right, Manat. All right, this is actually tricky. Because you would think Manat gets buffed, but then her V-trigger mix-ups, you just V-shift out.
Yeah, because I'm going to call it right now. Watch Sako like play with Manat. He's going to have OSs to the counter V-reversals or V-shifts.
But he's already going to have to spend an orb on you not V-shifting, and then he's going to have to spend more orbs to chase you down.
I mean, he doesn't have to do that. If he just reads a V-shift, it's like, all right, I'm going to use this first orb to punish your V-shift once it's done.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean, he could just delay it probably or something like that, but
we also don't know if V-shift is punishable at the end. I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to be, but we don't know.
Yeah, but we'll see.
I might say overall buff, because just like even if she doesn't get V-trigger mix-ups, her neutral, like being able to zone people out, is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say buff, but it's debatable, I think.
I'd say buff, because I want to make it quick because I want to go to bed soon.
All right. I mean, we can speed run the rest of these if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll spend 20 seconds on each one, all right? And then get through them. All right. Let me start the timer on my on my phone. All right. Nakali, what do you think? 10 seconds.
Neutral.
Neutral? All right. I think true. You can punish stomps, and also His neutral is really good. All right, next one. Nash. I think this helps him get out more, but also his V reversal was already really good, so I think maybe neutral as well.
Yeah, neutral.
All right, poison buff.
Yes, buff.
Armika.
Nerf.
Command grab. Also Nadeshko. Rashid buff nerf.
Neutral.
Neutral. I think actually because of his fireball strings, it's a nerf. What do you think?
Yeah, that's probably nerf. Maybe.
Alright. For you,
Probably neutral or nerf.
buff nerf. Yeah. We'll put him in nerf. Sagat, nerf because fireball.
Probably
All right, Sakura,
neutral.
neutral. Yeah, she has a fireball, but also her neutral is good. Urian,
Yeah,
nerf.
probably neutral. Or
I think
neutral or nerf. I don't know which one.
Aegis gets nerfed.
Aegis good nerf. Alright, cool. Nerf.
All right. M Bison. Neutral.
Neutral.
Neutral. His defense gets better, but also his offense gets worse.
Yeah.
Zangief, nerf. Because SPD.
Yep.
All right. Zaiku,
Neutral.
neutral. What's the reasoning?
You can like V-shift grams and stuff, but he also can stop you and all that. He doesn't have to burn bar or anything like that. Especially Young. Young doesn't have defensive options.
All right, good. Time. All right, we finished the last 10 characters in a minute and 46 seconds.
Yeah, we're actually better at this game than all you guys. Get good.
Yeah, that was a good speed run, even though the rest of them took us like an hour.
And that's why I wanted to speed run them, because I knew it was gonna be way too long.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this here on Twitch and also on YouTube.
YouTube.
Just a Kid, say the magic words.
Like, comment, subscribe on all our stuff, social medias, Twitch, YouTube, everything.
Yeah, I'll have Just a Kid's stuff linked in the description. All right.
Yeah, leave a comment if you want us to do more stuff like this.
Yep. All right. Have a good night,
All right.
Just a Kid. Oh wait, we forgot about Seth. Where's Just a Kid? Wait, I'm gonna make a poll. All right, we're seeing neutral. Neutral is in the lead, 7-3. Buff is it could make a comeback. It's 4 behind, 4 down. 7-3, 8-3, 8-3 for neutral for Seth. 9-3 for Seth. Oh my God, this is 10-3. This is a blowout. No one's saying nerf. Everyone is saying buff. There's only, or everyone's saying neutral. There's only 3 buffs. You would think there's a little bit saying nerf, but the winner is neutral by a long shot. Thank you for voting.